People are gonna talk. People are gonna hate. Like they'll say, like for some people that make sneakers, they'll say, "Oh, like these Alibaba shoes." Like just you can't listen to any of those people because you're doing something that they may secretly want to do, but you know what? They're too scared. Anyone could say anything, but taking a step is makes more of a difference to talk. What's up? This is Morty, aka Black Nego, aka the Praising Ape, the Bootleg Ape. I'm 30, and I'm out here in LA. I'm from New York, Queens specifically, but even more specific, I'm from Far Rockaway. I was raised in Jamaica. A lot of the time, my father actually, he was known in Queens for doing a lot of like rhinestone hats. I don't know if you see those old 80s, 90s airbrushed shirts and all that. Yeah. My father's one of those persons. Now, I can't say it had a direct effect on me, but it was something to think about as far as art. Yeah. And it wasn't until high school that I had met in a high school crowd. Like I get there and I have on stuff I had in middle school, and they get there like, you can't wear this. It was a polo. Like you got this Nolo with no horse on and everything.
Some old school shit. Like,
exactly. Go through that. Go through that. That tank. So all of that really inspired me. I would say the friends I met in high school. Sophomore year, like the seniors of that year, those were the coolest kids to me. Like they mixed up everything. It was Babe or like Polo or True Religion or like Supreme, even Diamond Supply, like mixed up a whole bunch of different shit, and it was all fly. I made beats in high school for like, I guess from sophomore to senior year, and then I picked it up around again like 2011, 2012, 2013. I would say like I probably made the best music personally around that time, but it was just so much other like terrible shit like going on, whether it be with the chemistry, who I did music with, or a whole bunch of other stuff. I just dropped it. And I going like the streetwear, I stepped out of streetwear for a minute. Like I just got to tell the very beginning of HBA, Bentrill, and the V-Lone when that shit started coming up around that time. And I had been out the game until like really like COVID. That's when I started like, let me jump back in the game. And a friend who knew me from when I did music, he said it's always funny. I know you were either gonna do something with music or fashion. And the fashion thing surprised me, but it was still something to take note of. I think stepping away from it like for sure helped me, because once I started looking at it again, and I think I'm gonna start a brand, that's when I started doing research. Like, okay, like this is the move, or this is coming up, or this is coming back. Just a bunch of different things that that streetwear just generally is made of. And I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna jump in this game, and then it's been fruitful so far. Well, as far as the the foundation brand, that was something like that's like a faith-based streetwear brand. Like that was the whole premise of the brand. It meant something else years ago, but I just kept that name. So what I did was I looked at like a bunch of different graphic designers, and I used like a program Paint.net before I started playing with Photoshop, and I started doing small designs there. I like at the time for that brand, I didn't want to do something like corny faith-based. I'm like, I want this to look like streetwear. I want people to look at this and see, oh, people could wear this wherever. They're not just wearing it to like Sunday school or something like that. And sometimes that's a fine line to run, because I'll say even in my experience, basic streetwear brands have been more helpful and added to the journey than faith-based, because again, it's such a fine line that so many people want to have a regular I Love Jesus shirt, whatever like that. But I can for sure say walking the line has been fruitful. It's been a lot of support, just from the different people that have supported. So the good thing is just like I just can't really listen to whomever else, because they don't see what I see. They don't see the potential or what this could be for me today or for someone else tomorrow trying to have the same idea. I know people that have like dope, and they may not be faith-based, but it may be used as a faith-based brand or design, but they just want to stay away from it. I would say during that whole period I was doing music, like that's where I was like at the lowest like point of my life or whatever like that. So I would say I became more serious about my faith, and then from there I started doing I had to do like going to church and like all those things. More importantly, reading and everything. So I figured, hey, you know what? My streetwear, if I want to jump into this, I want to have a why. Anybody can make a dope design, anybody can do whatever, but if you don't know the why or the philosophy behind your brand, it's just like, how long are you going to do it? A lot of the designs, I do for sure like try to have like a scripture reference or design. Like for these, the sneakers I have on, like it's based on the book and the story in Genesis with the serpent. That's why it's like has the snake skin, it's black, and it has the it's an eye on the back I don't know if you saw that too. It's the eye on the back here. So just stuff like that. And for the Bootleg Ape page, though that's not faith-based, it's more miscellaneous. I want to bring some of that old Bape magic back, like the '08, even before then, like all of that vintage OG stuff. There's a lot of recycling going on, but I think again, just as much as the why, it's also your network, because some people, I think with music, some guys may be sitting on the best beats, or they may have the best verses, and they just think, you know, my shit is so good that somebody's gonna find me. And sometimes you don't have the luck like that, where you could run into an M, or run into a Dre, or run into any kind of entities where you have to network and know people around you who want to do the same thing. You know, it has to be a community. It just can't be, you know, I'm trying to be envious or not give you my sauce or whatever. It's just, you know, you kind of get along, like get stuck by yourself or stuff like that. Just tune out people, but also you have to take criticism. And don't always be an opportunist, because you never know like where your blessings come from. You could think there'd be a brand to help you just because they're bigger than you and they really don't care. You can network and mix with the next As Pizza or the next whomever, you know. So just make sure you have a tight community, like a good solid group of even creators that can help you out too. I actually wish that I did have like someone to tutor or to mentor me with it, to avoid like some pitfalls or like that. But you know what, I take that as, you know, I can maybe help the next person, because no one helped me. Maybe I'm kind of going through this and learning so I can help whoever else is asking. And I have at times, but sometimes people will ask, oh, how do you do this? It's just a matter of just looking for it. I can't spoon feed anybody, but I can maybe lead you in the right direction. And if I had to sum it up, I would just say, just keep your integrity. Like, do right by people, like you want someone to do right by you, and just in network. Just keep your integrity and network. Foundation, I had opened an online store on 824 actually, like for Kobe or whatever like that. Okay. And I had like a apostle prophet theme. So like I think the prophets were the Lakers, the other one was the Celtics, kind of like a rivalry thing going on. But it didn't take off until December when I had my Psalm 23 jersey. I connected with Lil House Phone. And he said, oh, like, I really like the jersey. So he put it on and he wore it to No Jumper. And ever since then, like, you know, I've given back and forth with him, like just giving him stuff. And then like he and I will talk like every so often. So I would say December 2020, Bootleg Ape started like around Halloween when I dropped the Venom shoe. Venom was the first shoe that we did.
Last year.
Yeah, just last year. So this is all still like fairly new. Like it's only been a year since my first real drop on the Foundation. That was like late January, February. So about a year, a little over a year. I didn't even meet him like in regards to like trying to promote my brand or anything like that. It was just because I used to watch No Jumper and I was like, yo, like this dude is funny. But then once I got on Instagram and started doing my brand and I saw he did promo, I was like, oh, what's up? Like I hit him up, the Cash App or whatever like that, and he took forever to like post it. Yeah. But I was like tagging him in my story. I'm like, yo, bro, what the fuck? Like I kept whatever. Then he was like, bro, what are you talking about? I'm like, bro, I paid you for promo. So I kind of nagged him, but it got his attention. And then I could even say, just through that relationship, that has like been such a blessing to me. Like I've given shit to Duno, also on No Jumper. Shout out to Duno too. Different brands, Stolen Youth, the guy that got the hat for me too, he did this for me. Again, a House Phone. Island Boy on my page, someone that he knew actually plugged me with him. Dev, he does tattoos, so it's just like I said, House Phone he's been more of a blessing than he realizes. One thing I will also say is, don't burn bridges unnecessarily. Don't be an opportunist just because someone is bigger than you. Again, you never know. You always help someone. Like, I know some brands, they may just want to be on the side of a big page and whatever the case is, and that big page may not pay them attention. Out of nowhere, Lil Jupiter hit me up. He was like, hey, bro, like, I love your stuff. And then, Jupiter and I connected. So just things like that. You just never know. Bootleg Ape, I'm for sure obviously going to do more shoes, but I think I really want to capture the magic of what Nigo did with some of the apparel. I think that's the more challenging thing. I'm thinking about throwing some different ideas that I've seen from some of the older collections and dropping them, like even like the bootleg jeans, kind of like that, how he had the Milo on the top, something like that. For the Foundation, honestly, because out of the faith-based streetwear brands, like I have the most like authentic followers. It's not a lot, but I still want to cultivate that. I have some new designs, some collaborations, some projects I'm working on. Bootleg Ape too. Now we have a contest to let anybody make their own Bapester. We'll pay for it and do everything else like that. So just doing stuff like that, just continue to do better than what I did this time last year. Let's say like the foundation, let's say somebody wanted to collaborate with me and they did, let's say, a bunch of Spider-Man designs, like just different, like various Spider-Man designs. For my brand philosophy with the foundation, because it's faith-based, just like, it's at the time, or at least now, it's kind of hard for me. How do I mix those two? How do I mesh those two together? Yeah. But with a Bootleg Ape, because it's more miscellaneous, it's a you know, a wider brush to paint with. And I will say, like, that page has grown almost close to what the foundation is now. Yeah. But obviously, because it's more miscellaneous, not faith-based, because some people stay away from that just because it does have the faith-based tag on it. Typically, like, to be honest, like, I pay attention to like a lot of my shit, but one thing I will see that I enjoy more and more is like the distressed look or the cut and sew. I think that may be like the next direction, especially because, you know, Virgil took a lot of things that are going on now and like implement it into his. So whoever's here now or behind us, they're gonna do like much of the same thing. So it always recycles. There's always some type of recycling. But you can think of a shirt, let's say a Diamond Supply shirt from 07, it'll still be in style now or whatever like that. So just, you know, it's always, you know, universal. I think a lot of that distressed, like the vintage sneaker look, I think Virgil does like take some elements from that. But a lot of times with people, you know, being quite honest, a lot of people then like what is this? They got a hole in the sneakers, or it looks like someone ate through the hat, all these things like that. But that's a lot of like the distress scene. I know there's another page that sells like the faded, like washed out laces, or some people will like they will age their ones and things like that. So it's just all of that look. Virgil for sure left the mark and opened the door. Look, Louis Vuitton has like a skater shoe now, and they endorse skaters and things like that. So he for sure, you know, upped it up. I would even say more than Kanye, but Kanye for sure built that foundation for him. I was actually inspired by this other brand called Gutterwear. Now this guy, he's from Queens also. He does jerseys for different rappers like Griselda. He did one for Benny the Butcher. He did one for a Big L collaboration jersey. He did I think he did one for Cameron too. Sean Price, all these hip hop pages, Wu-Tang I believe. He did like just mainly basketball jerseys. So I'm like, okay, like let me like use some of that magic. What can I do faith-based? So I'm thinking 23, Psalm 23, it just came like that. Now recently someone showed me years ago somebody did that, and I had no idea. Yeah, it was another faith-based brand. I can't remember the dude's name, but he has like a vintage Jesus t-shirt that kind of does parodies of like regular stuff, kind of like Foundation is. And he showed me someone did a Psalm 23 jersey years ago, and I had no idea. So that jersey, I'm gonna bring those back for sure. I actually the first jerseys I dropped were like the Swingman versions. So when I bring them back, I'm gonna do the embroideries like authentic jerseys like that. So yeah, for sure. I would honestly say the love that I got from doing a foundation to a Bootleg Ape, because sometimes people figure like, you know, they just know you for this. Like if you try to do something else, like it may not be as good or anywhere close. Like I can think about a designer that has bootleg t-shirts and he tried to do another brand and it's not getting the same love. So I just appreciate that the following that I cultivated from both brands goes into, you know, each one. You know, I'm not lacking for love in any of them. So, you know, I'm really grateful for that. Rick Ross had saw one of my jerseys on Stay Grounded, and he bought one, but I guess it was too small. Oh no! Because I put on the size that he got. I was like, okay, I could just fit this. I know for sure he's not gonna fit this. So I was like, damn, that was good. But
he's really that big, huh? Yeah. I feel like in photos, like he doesn't look like he's that big, but
he for sure. I was like, oh, he didn't even like put it on the story. I'm like, he must have been real pissed off or whatever. Like, I was like, oh god.
At least he could have just tapped in.
Yeah, said something.
Like, bro, I got you. I'll send you another one right now.
I emailed him. I was like, hey, like if it's too small, I was like, nah, he probably pissed off because I said that.
Yeah, what you should have just sent him one in the mail. Just said, fuck it, something.
Right. Working on the Pokemons with Mac. Yeah. That's hand down. That to me, that's bootleg of the year, honestly.
Yeah.
That was for sure one. I had met Mac working on when I had my other shoe, because James E. Morgan actually put my shoe on his story. It was the very first shoe I did. The red, the Yastas was red, black, and yellow. and Mac was like looking at the detail of the star. He's like, it's super dope. And then he said like, but the star is something funny. I'm like, yeah, like I didn't like the original star too. So that's how we started working. He's like, yo, like I want to make Bapesters. I was like, word. So then from there we did the Chicago pack. We had run into a little rut at some point, but then we came back even better with the Pokemon and shit. So I would for sure say that may be, I don't know what could beat that, but that one was for sure fun to work with. Got some more stuff, another Pokemon pack in the future, but you know, we'll talk about that later. I'm always open to collaboration. I have a few set up for this year for Bootleg Ape, a couple for Foundation, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. I love it. I love to work with other persons, because I never think that I have the best out there. Not that I don't have that same confidence, but just like I want to see who else feels like I do about myself, so I want to see what they bring to the table. So I'm always open to work with others for sure. I would say even more so like with the Foundation, like again, because it's such a thin line, and I kind of made my own lane with that. It's just like I'm gonna like set the bar for myself. I can't like look someone to the left or right and see what to do, because I feel like what I'm doing with that, I'm one of the few that are doing it like that. So we just kind of make our own lane. And with the Bootleg Ape, same kind of thing. You know, take some of that again, like that old Nego, like or old bait magic, and recreate that. So I know a lot of people are like, they may have their own iterations of Baby Milo and stuff like that, but you know, just doing my thing, keeping it to the OGs. For Bootleg Ape, we have the Wolverines coming up. Now the Wolverines, like I don't know if you remember, like back in was it 05, something like that. Babe had a Marvel collab. They did the Hulk, Spider-Man, they did Thor, Captain America, all these different things, but there are like some hallmark characters that they did not do. I could understand they didn't do any villains, so I did the Venom colorway. That was my first Bootleg Ape shoot. But Wolverine, I'm like, how are you gonna do a Marvel pack and no Wolverine? So we're dropping those. Exactly. So those are coming out soon. For the Bootleg Ape, I want to drop, the Foundation, I want to drop the Bear Brick, the Jesus Bear Brick soon. I had an awful lot of Christ Jesus hoodie, kind of like an awful lot of cough syrup. I may actually put that on. I'm actually going to drop that on Desto Dub's birthday. As long story behind that, yeah. See, he was getting wild, so I'm like, all right, now I got to push the button and go crazy. Like, I was inspired by his work, and you know, he kind of took a different direction or whatever. So I mean, listen, whatever. I had another shirt I haven't previewed yet for the Foundation that I do want to drop with the Jesus Bear Brick. So that's really what I have coming up next for those. So, got another sneaker coming out on Mother's Day for the Foundation, Donda inspired shoe. Yeah, see, bringing it back to the faith base and all that. It's out there, just people just don't see it. I can't remember how we met, bro, but it was something that I must have had on my page, and we just like hit it off, really. It was like a 1-2, like, hey, bro, you wanted to collab? Sure, okay. This is how much I reach out to me. It was like a.
It's because I think I seen you posting like some of the like upcoming shoes. And and I was just like, what's up, bro? I was like, I'm trying to collab with you, and I think I told you that I wanted to get some of your clothes in the store.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I want to get some of your shit in the store.
Right.
Just collab. I was like, I never even thought about that.
Right, like why not or whatever. And it's like you said, it was just like real smooth. Like, hey, this is how much it costs. Okay, boom, split it down the middle. Okay, boom, put it in your store. Like it was just a 1, 2, 3 thing like that. And unfortunately, a lot of stuff doesn't go like that. Because people always like trying to like one up the next person. Like, bro, like we're doing this together. We can eat together. It don't have to be beef or war or anything like that.
No, I mean, I think that just it leaves the door open for so many different possibilities.
Exactly.
And I mean, I think the way I look at it with like social media is like, I have my fan base, and you have your fan base. Boom, let's get together.
Exactly.
Now, our fan bases are each other.
Bring both worlds back.
We're growing each other to like be something that we didn't even know we could.
Exactly. So. That's the same thing. That's how I met Mac. With Mac, it was a 1, 2, 3 thing. With you, it was a 1, 2, 3 thing. I thank God like for just where my brands have been as far as they've got. Like I just like any type of connection. Like I said, whether it be you hitting me up or how far I actually want to go through it, or Jupe, or even just the community at large, like my followers and everything like that. Like I just thank God for every step of the way, for real. For sure, shout out to my family, shout out to my baby, streetwear, shout out to Stay Grounded, shout out to Infrared Pegasus, shout out to Jupe, of course, big shout out to House Phone. I don't want to miss anybody, so I'm gonna just put you. I don't want to miss anybody. My brands, brothers, followers, supporters, customers, everybody. Big shout out, District 7 for sure. Thank you for real, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for coming through, man.
Yes, bro. Yes, for sure.
This is gonna be a good one.